Hey y'all, so I am going to go ahead and get started. This is our Working from Wi-Fi Wednesdays. On Wednesdays every week at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm just going to share with y'all a little bit about what I do and how I work from my phone in my spare time. While I say spare time, I make the time to do it because I actually have a just super incredibly busy life. But this is something that's just so important to me. And of course, like extra money is always great. And so I make it a priority and I manage to fit it in my schedule. So I'm going to talk with y'all a little bit about that. So, I started this business about 3 years ago, almost 3.5 years ago now. It's been so crazy. I'm so grateful that this came into my life. When I very first started this business, I got laid off from my job. It was very sudden. I was devastated. I thought I'd be there forever. And I saw this girl on my Facebook. I just kept seeing her nonstop. Talking about some business she was doing from her phone and how she bought a car in cash and was doing all these, paying off debt, just doing all these amazing things I really wanted to do. And so I had watched her for months at a time, but it took me losing my job to be able to for it to hit me and be like, okay, I hit rock bottom and I need to do something. My car just got repossessed. It was really, we were just going through a really hard time. So I started this business, and yeah, here I still am 3.5 years later. I've had my ups and downs in business, just like everybody else, of course. But I've stayed consistent and I've continued to make, an income with it from my phone for the past 3.5 years now. And it's been just so incredible. So now 3.5 years later, my life looks a lot different than it did when I first started. I had one kid at the time, who was pretty easygoing. He was a handle, but for the most part, he was a boy. So he wanted to play outside and do his own thing kind of deal. And I stayed home. So I had plenty of time, to do this business at that time. Now, about a year ago, I had the opportunity to start the career of my life. And I, of course, took it. It was such a God thing. And I just knew, I never thought that, I would go back into the, 9-to-5 type job. But when this happened, I just knew, this is where I needed to go. And it was so cool because I was able to wait on this job, or I say wait, but my hire on process and all kinds of things. Had I had to have had a 9-to-5 job, I would have never been able to get this job because I would have had to take other opportunities, sooner, So, I started this really amazing career. I love it so much. I also had another child in between this. So now I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old. I have my amazing husband and I work full time. And my husband runs a business. He does property services and landscaping and different things like that. I help him with his stuff. So my schedule is just really crazy, and I help, I am an adult leader in our student ministry at church, and I love it so much. And any opportunity I get to do anything with them, I am always there. We're on the board now for our son's baseball team. I do a lot of community work and volunteering, especially with my job, my full-time job. So yeah, so life is pretty crazy. Not to mention I've been super sick with possibly an autoimmune disease for the past year. So for me, it it's crazy to me because I feel like I have the perfect excuses. I have the perfect reasons for me to be oh, I can't do this business because I'm too busy. I have this going on. I have this going on. I am literally the ideal candidate of the poster child of busy people. But I still I make this a priority. I know what it's done for my family, and I know what it will continue to do. And I know how many people I've helped with this business, not just with people like losing weight, but also with people making an extra income. And that's just so important to me because I love being able to help a mom put diapers on her baby, or groceries on her table, or gas in her car, or even bigger things like bringing their kids on being able to pay for their kids to go on a vacation, not having to put it on a credit card, buying a car, buying a house, all of these amazing things. And I, if I didn't do this business, like, they may not be in this business either, So, that's the reason, like, I just have such a strong why with that. And so even though I could make excuses all day long about why or how I don't have time to do this business, I don't. I go and I look at the time that I have and I manage it to the best of my capability. I'm not like a time management expert, but I do the best I can to make the time for this business. You have to make the time, you're not going to just find the time. Like, you have to make it. So a normal day for me looks like, I could probably sleep until 6:30 before I have to, get up and get ready for work and go. But I don't. I normally wake up at about 5:30, so it's an hour earlier. Like, most people could wake up an hour earlier, even 30 minutes earlier. Like, with this business, when you have time that you can be intentional, like, you don't have to work 8 hours a day to make a full-time income. You don't have to work 4 hours a day to make a part-time income, You can get so much done in such little time when you're intentional with your time. And that's what I've been able to do. Like, if I only have 30 minutes in the morning to get something done, I spend that 30 minutes, like, full force working as hard as I can nonstop for that 30 minutes. So, I might get stuff done in 30 minutes that some people would get done in 2 hours. So I'm just very, like, I know the time I have, and I use it to its full capacity. I don't, like, start scrolling through Facebook or, like, get lost in a video. Like, I'm like, okay, I only have 30 minutes to work. So until 6:00, this is what I'm going to do. And this is their task I have to finish before then. So yeah. And then, of course, I get ready. I get my kids ready for school. They go to school. I go to work. I come home. I usually try to stop by my house before I go pick my kids up so I can, like, get the Instant Pot started. If you don't have an Instant Pot, girl, let me tell you about it. It will save your life. But I get the Instant Pot started with whatever. I'm starting to meal prep for the month, which sounds crazy, but I am. And so I'm, like, literally have Ziploc bags of meals, like, already prepped that I just dump in the Instant Pot, go pick my kids up from school. And by the time we get home, dinner's usually cooked. So I get off work at 4. So, like, all this stuff is done by, like, 5:30. If Remy has baseball practice, Ryan usually brings him, because he's his coach this year. But if it's a game night or something, I will go as well. And bring Gatlin. If not, me and Gatlin will do an activity at home. And then we put our kids to bed pretty early. One, obviously, because, I'm making time to be able to get some work done. And 2, our kids, like, we wake up early and they do have a long day at school. They are so much better. Like, they're so much more well-behaved when they have a good night's sleep. They feel better. They act better. So, like, I'm a firm believer, like, your kids need, like, a lot of sleep. So, and of course it varies for kids, but, like, my kids probably need a good 10, 11 hours of sleep to be, at their best. I would even let them sleep 12 if I could. So yeah, so we normally start our bedtime routine around 7. Now, of course, nights that Remy has baseball might be a little different. But I still, with Gatlin, I keep her, she's been on the same routine since she's been a newborn. So this has just worked really well for her and we don't really have any problems. So at 7:00, we start our bedtime routine. They have diffusers in their room. So I start some essential oils. They take a bath. And then I let them either, we've been doing for, like, 10 or 15 minutes, because their baths have been pretty short lately. They don't play in the bath as much as they used to. We'll go and let them sit in their rooms and do like a quiet activity, like Gatlin normally colors and Remy will play with his Legos or something, for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then we read them a book and lay them down. Now, Remy doesn't always go to sleep immediately, but he's 4. So I'm not, as long as he's like in his room laying down, I'm not like mad. But Gatlin, I mean, I lay her down, turn out her lights, she's asleep. So yeah, and then I have time in the evening to work after that. I mean, my kids are in bed by 7:30. So, and that's not, when I first started this business, it was not like that. Remy would stay up all hours of the night, it seemed like. But that was a tip that I had gotten from a leader, like, to put your kids in bed. And I swear, like, Remington has been like night and day, a completely different child since we've had him in a good bedtime routine. And it's helped me, you know, so much with my business. And, you know, I've talked with my husband, he knows, especially if I'm going for like a big promotion or something, or a big bonus, you know, I do put in a little more work in the evenings than like normal. But I like to at least get an hour of just like solid, hardcore. Don't, like, my husband, like, he goes and he watches one of his shows or something in the living room, and I sit in our sitting room, and I, like, for an hour, just silence and work. But, you know, I am probably getting out in that hour, like, the amount a lot of people would be doing in 4 hours in a 9-to-5 job, though, because I am just, like, pushing work, because it's not like, oh, well, I have all day to finish these tasks. It's like, no, I have an hour to do these tasks and I need to get them done. So yeah, so that's what I do. And of course, throughout the day, like on my lunch or something at work, I'll answer a message from people or make a post or something like that. So yeah, I mean, that's honestly what a day in my life with this business looks like. Of course, I still make time for my husband after I get done working for my hour or whatever I do that evening. You know, I go and spend time with him. I think that's super important, because when I started this business, I was so obsessed with making money that I didn't spend time with him as much as I should have. But yeah, so that's kind of how a day goes. This business can be as much or as little as you put into it. So, you know, if you give it your all, this business can take you places. If you're just kind of like, hey, Delaney, like, I need like $200 to $500 extra a month, then, you know, we can do that too. It just depends on like how much you want to put into it. So yeah, so that's just kind of what I wanted to share with y'all tonight. That's how I am able to fit this into my schedule, because I know it sometimes seems intimidating taking on a business. I do want to share with y'all real quick a little bit more about the business side of things and what I do. So I am a distributor with It Works Global. We are an all-natural health and wellness company. We started in 2001, so we're 19 years old. That's crazy. We're a very well-established company. We are debt-free, which is super amazing. Like, what kind of company is debt-free? Ours is. So we're also a Christian-based company, which is super important to me, as you can see by my shirt. No, it's a Christian-based company, which is so special to me. And I just love every aspect of it and what they stand for and their values. They're also really strong with family and are always trying to get family involved. So it's just been something that's been super, super close to my, like, I just feel so at home with this company. And I'm one of those people, I'm like, I have the best company out there, because I genuinely, like, the people, the culture, everyone, like, it's just, it's like no other. Like, it's so hard to even put it into, like, I don't have the words to put it into words, because it's just so incredible. So we sell all natural health and wellness products. It's not just weight loss products or wraps. I know when I first started this business, like, that's kind of what we were known for, was wraps. Now we've kind of grown into so much more. We have an amazing skincare line. We actually just launched a new skincare line with Dr. Nassif from Botched. I don't know if any of y'all watch that show. That used to be one of my obsessions. Like a lash serum, a neck tightening cream, like just so many amazing products with that line. And then we also have a lot of products with like general wellness, which I am all about. So if you don't know, I think I mentioned this earlier that I've been dealing with some major health issues this past year. They think I might have an autoimmune disease. If you know anything about an autoimmune disease, though, that's one of those things that if you get a diagnosis, it takes a long time. So I'm like a year into this, and I have a doctor that's kind of like, he's pinpoint like 2 autoimmune diseases he thinks it possibly could be. But of course, we still have to run a lot more tests. And out of like, there's no like one magical test that says, yes, you have this. It's more of like a series of all these different kinds of tests. And like out of those tests, they look at all of them together and they're like, okay, this is what you probably have. Probably. So yeah. So, you know, when I started this business, like I definitely wanted to lose weight, and that was kind of my main goal with the products. I mean, sure, I led the skincare line and all that, but like I was like, all right, y'all, who don't want to lose weight? I want to lose weight. But now it's so crazy because I have shifted so much in the past 3.5 years. Now my focus is like on my like general wellness because y'all, I feel like crap all the time. And thankfully, you know, we have so many options with this company of products that help heal your body. And so I am like starting, as we come out with new products, I'm starting to explore some more of those options to see if they help with some of my symptoms. I don't expect them to cure everything, because if it is something like an autoimmune disease, like this is a chronic major illness. But, you know, there are things that can help. And I'm, you know, hoping that like some of those things are with this company. Like one of the things that I am starting tomorrow, a 30-day challenge, y'all should follow me because I will be going live every day doing the challenge of drinking our just celery juice. It's celery juice, but it's like turned into powder. Like the only ingredient is celery, organic celery. You dump it in the water, it turns the water into celery juice. So instead of having a juice and stuff like that, like it's instant. And then I drink that, and it has a lot of great benefits. I hate celery. Don't like the taste, texture. I think it's abomination. But it's supposed to have a lot of benefits, and if it makes me feel better, like I'll drink acid. Like I'm just kidding, but like anything. So I'm really excited to start that, and I also, our probiotic has helped me a lot. Our greens have been helping me a lot too with my digestive issues and things like that. So I think, like I said, when people look at our business or hear the company it works, they're like, oh, that's that wrap company. But honestly, like there's so much more to it now. I mean, we have a whole keto line. I love our collagen drink. It's so good. I mean, I could sit on here all day telling you about the products. Like, it's just so amazing, you know, and it's so crazy to me because this company has evolved so much in the past 3.5 years, which is cool because I feel like I've evolved a lot as a person in the past 3.5 years. And it's so amazing to have a company who's also continuing to evolve, because as people, you know, we evolve. And I like that our company isn't the same company it was 3.5 years ago. I loved the business 3.5 years ago. But, you know, as I change, the company has changed too. And that's just been so special to me, just to be able to grow with the company. And it's changed like the way I view myself. You know, of course, it's helped us financially so much. I got out of my car out of repossession because of this business, y'all. Like, if you ever got a car out of repossession, I think it was like $4,000. That's crazy. Rap Cash paid for that. Hello. But yeah, I mean, this business has helped us so much financially, so much for, you know, my mind. It's grown my mind so much. It's grown my faith so much. Before I started this business, I was a Christian, but I was, you know, I was a Christian, but I didn't have a relationship with God. And just seeing how passionate and how, you know, to me, I think like your greatest gift to another person as a Christian is to be so much like Christ that when people see you, like they they want to be a Christian because they want to be like that. You know what I mean? They're like, man, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she has, or I don't know, but I want to be like her because she's amazing to be around, and she's so full of grace, and she has so much faith. And she, you know, that's how this business was for me, and the people in it. You know, I was around so many people that had just so much faith and that were just so amazing. And I was like, man, like, I thought I was a Christian, but I don't have that. I don't have a relationship with God like that. I don't have faith like that. And it made me just really, really want to pursue that relationship. And I'm so grateful that this business came into my life at that time, and gave me that drive and passion, because it turned out like I have such a passion for ministry. And I always think like, man, had I not started this business, I may not have that passion, or I may not have found that passion that was like stirring inside of me. So yeah, so this is it. Like, this is It Works. It's been a crazy journey. And I am super excited, and I really hope, to be able to bring some of y'all along on this journey with me and help y'all grow, make an extra income, reach your goals, no matter if you're wanting, to make extra money, if you're wanting to lose weight, if you're wanting to just better your health, whatever it is. Like, I am just so excited to be able to be here and be on this journey with you and be here for you, and just take you through each step of the way. So if this is something you're interested in, I would love to talk with you more about the details, and get a game plan for you and see. My goal for the next, I'm fixing to start a big push until April 30th. This is something that I always do this time of year. I put a little more into my business, and I go an extra mile. And during this push, I have a goal to help 5 people earn $500 a month. So I know that was a big goal for me, and that was something so special, because that was my car note right there. I got into a car note that was way above my head. And when I had gotten my car repossessed and all that, I was like, man, if this business can be able to pay for my car note, like, that would be amazing. And it ended up doing so much more. But I have a goal to help 5 people do that by April. So if this is something you're interested in getting started with, send me a message after this, give me a call, contact me. Let's talk more about it and see if this is a good fit for you. So I hope you'll have a great Wednesday night. Talk to you again next Wednesday night if you get on here again. All right. Well, thank y'all for hopping on, and I hope you have a great evening. Bye, you guys.